Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I've got a very interesting upload. Now I know I say that about most, probably all, because they all are interesting to me, and hopefully to you. But I was just sitting in my studio, and I got a notification from Reddit, and the heading was Werewolf Ghost Encounter. And I read it, and the gentleman is looking for answers. They are from Tunisia, which is in North Africa, and I reached out to him and said, hey, I have a YouTube channel. I'd like to narrate your encounter and have my subscribers help you figure out what's going on. And he agreed. So here's this person's encounter. Before we get into it, though, a couple links. As you know, I rely on my Patreon, my PayPal, and my merch to help this channel to continue to grow and go. All of those links are in the description below. I also have a second channel for creepypasta, fanfiction, and scary voice acting. Stories that, well, they really don't fit on this channel. Now, if that's anything that you're into, follow that link and give those stories a listen. You may just like what you hear. Now, I've taken enough of your time. Let's get in with today's encounter. Shall we? One summer night like these, when I was at the age of 5 or 6, me and my mom, we were sitting at the balcony in the kitchen next to us. In the dark, creepy corner, I can see a big, pitch-black, furry form of a werewolf with sparkly, yellowish eyes staring at me. It didn't move. It didn't even blink. I can remember myself staying there speechless, holding my breath for a few moments. I was shocked. At that age, I knew that such things never existed, and I was trying to make up something of it so I understood what it was. But it was so real. It was covering the LED lights of the fridge. Am I crazy? I said I stood there for moments. Then it happened. It started creeping towards me at that moment. I started crying and screaming as loud as I can. My mom told me, she said, your face turned pale and you were trembling, but she couldn't see anything. She held me and tried calming me down. Then we walked to the kitchen and turned the lights on, and it seemed like it just disappeared. I couldn't sleep that night. Later, the days went by, and I slowly forgot about this and never saw that werewolf monstrosity thing again. Until yesterday. Now I'm 17, my mom is visiting her family for a few days, and my father always comes back home late. So mostly I'm alone all day. So yesterday I'm sitting in that same balcony, in that same exact sofa, and I saw him again. I couldn't believe myself for a moment. I almost laughed, but it was so real. The same scary form, the same eyes, the same dark, thick fur. It's been 11 plus years, and in that moment I remembered every single detail of him, like his picture was printed in my memory. I got up and walked slowly towards the kitchen. As I was looking at him, and he was staring back at me without blinking once. I can see his eyes following me. My brain couldn't accept his presence, but my eyes were looking at him. I got so close, maybe 1.5 to 2 meters apart from him, and I swear I could hear his breathing at that moment. I completely freaked out. My hands were already sweating, my heart started racing, and I froze there for a second. It felt like I couldn't move my legs. Part of my brain was in complete shock, and part of it couldn't believe what I was seeing. I looked at the wall to turn the lights on. It happened in a fraction of a second. When I looked back, he just disappeared again. It appeared so real I can imagine his face and recall his heavy breathing right now as I'm typing this. I don't know if I was hallucinating when I was younger, but I can confirm that I saw him again. And to be clear, I am not scared of such things, but I believe in supernatural forces. But in that moment, at the age of 17, I was terrified. I didn't want to tell anyone because obviously they will say I'm crazy. But I can trust myself. I have no mental disorders, nothing that makes me see things. This is a 100% true story. Every detail I listed happened. When it happened again yesterday, I thought I'd share it here and see what people say about it. Or if there are any similar ones, or if someone can give a possible explanation of what had happened. This next part of the upload is answers and a little more information that this person answered the couple of questions and discussion that I saw. I live in Tunisia, North Africa, and yes, we do have a big backyard, surrounded by a forest. I wouldn't really call it a forest because only street dogs live in it. It's like a very big green area. Also, the area I live in is quite populated, and I've never seen a wolf in our area or heard someone that saw one in our area. So if you suggest that it might have been a wolf who snuck into our house, I disagree, because the form I saw was bigger than any wolf I had ever seen in my life. Almost my height, 1.8 meters. Plus, if it was a wolf, it wouldn't hesitate to attack me, right? And it can't escape in the blink of an eye, so there is no way it was an animal. Forgot to mention that we do have a 2-meter fence surrounding our home. I would say it was close to anything a mix between a man and a wolf. I would describe it more like a big wolf that can stand on 2 legs. Some comment explained that it might have been an alien from another universe. It is so damn cool to think about that some foreign creature decided to visit me twice, but as cool as it is, I'm also terrified. I would like to try to understand it next time it appears, if it does, but I must be ready. In the first encounter, it did try to get closer, but maybe it was scared when I started screaming and when my mom came. I don't believe the creature would be scared, though. Hopefully, when it tried to get closer, it was in a peaceful way. Maybe I do believe in a multi-universe, but I hope I never encounter it again. I've never been that terrified in my life in a long time. Now, when I read this encounter and reached out to this person, for some reason, even before I read any of the comments or discussion underneath, I thought of interdimensional. I was brought back to the stories of Skinwalker Ranch. For some reason, I don't know why. How that baby calf was surgically dissected in a matter of 20 minutes while the farmer and his wife were a couple of 100 yards away tagging another baby calf. I did, when I reached out, I said, who I am, I have a YouTube channel, I'd really like to share your encounter. My subscribers are very intuitive and have a lot of good ideas what it could have been. So I'm hoping that you guys can shed some light on this. I'm thinking possibly an interdimensional. I don't think an alien, but who knows? I don't know. I really enjoyed this encounter. Working on some stuff, some real good stuff. Hopefully, I can have another interview before the 4th of July for you guys. I'd like to have a couple, actually, before the 4th. Just a lot of weird stuff going on. I know that there's a lot of speculation and BS calling with what I announced yesterday. I will be making a community comment later tonight or tomorrow, sharing photos of that email and of the text, possibly. But the email is the one that gets me. I stare at it every day. So with that, guys, I want to bid you farewell.